60 kilometers an hour. And one hundo. And as you guys can see, I am instantly greeted by some poverty buttons down here because I didn't spec it out fully. But what I did spend some extra money on is the exterior. Look at this paint color. Ladies and gentlemen, today you guys join me in this 2026 Volkswagen Taos. I may have chippened out a little bit, but I'll explain my logic to why I would go for something like this. But foot on the brake. Turbocharged 4-banger, 1.5 liters by the way, pushing 174 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, with an 8-speed automatic transmission. And yes, this one is all-wheel drive. And as you guys can see, I am instantly greeted by some poverty buttons down here because I didn't spec it out fully. But what I did spend some extra money on is the exterior. Look at this paint color. Absolutely stunning. This is what I spent my extra couple of $1,000, maybe $500 on, just to make the car look great. And yes, beautiful daytime LED running lights, and as you guys may have known, they have not changed too much compared to the 2025 models. We do get some extra color scheme options, and you know what? I do not really care. It looks great, and I love it. Yes, we're all-wheel drive, 215 tires all the way around. And this is what our key looks like. Very, very subtle, and the whole point of having a car like this is to make it affordable. Perforated leather with a little bit of cloth in between for cost-saving benefits. Cup holders down here, and we don't have any dual vents back here either. But coming to the front, even though it may not be the highest trim, the whole point of this is to save you money. Look. Perforated leather, white leather all around, with some nice Alcantara and cloth in between as well. Got your seatbelts that are simply black, soft touch plastic with more perforated leather over here. Beautiful aluminum trim and pano black. And I like the fact that they put the pano black up here that are not high traffic areas, so there's less chances of having fingerprints up here compared to down here. And this is our steering wheel, nice stitching all around. And yes, the cabin is a nice place to be. Now let's go through the quick options real quick. Yes, we have adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and lane keep assist. We have heated seats and a heated steering wheel. We don't have ventilated seats because heated seats are more necessary in Canadian weather because it gets colder more times than it is hotter. But let us go for a drive. This thing is 174 horsepower, less than 200 horsepower. But you don't need any more than this, really. Yes, if you want a little bit extra, more luxury, you can get the bigger brother. The Tiguan is the bigger brother to this one. But the goal of this one is to feel good, look good, and be happy with your purchase. Yes, the outline is nice. I'm sitting very comfortably at 6 foot with a ton of legroom, and we also have a ton of trunk space in the rear. Handling is good, very soft, and peppy suspension makes you feel like you can do way more than you actually think you can do. And we also have auto stop and go to try and help you a little bit more on those cost savings when it comes to gas money. But enough talking, let's put this thing into its sportiest setting, and we're gonna try and do a proper 0 to 60 to show you what 174 horsepower does to a man at full send. In 3, 2, 1, launch. 60 kilometers an hour. And one hundo. Just like that. The car is doing everything in its power to get you going. And the brakes are pretty good. Even though this road is up to 80 kilometers an hour, this person seems to be going at a brisk 40 kilometers an hour. It is what it is. But this is what it's like to simply drive this car as you get used to it. The suspension, we have some train tracks up ahead, so we're gonna see how the suspension handles more bumpier terrain. But overall, I expect it to handle it pretty well. This is a German car at the end of the day. Yes, it may be a base model, but I still expect very good things from it. Now, let's watch. Took it with some pretty good grace. Now, let us quickly perform a quick little 3-point turn once the road clears up. Remember, this thing is all-wheel drive. So yes, I can take it into some snow, some mud. Would I recommend it? Really? No, you're not exactly sitting too high up. You're not a Jeep Wrangler. You can get into a little bit of trouble with off-roading and going into some unpaved places or unplowed snow areas. But I still wouldn't recommend it too much. I could do a 3-point turn in one fell swoop, actually. Nimble. Let's get out of sport mode and drive like a regular human being. As you guys can see, we have a fully digital gauge cluster. This comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a pretty decent stereo system.
And I think that it, you know, kind of...
Just like that. Very simple and easy to get used to. If you're wondering how our blind spots look, we have very good visibility all around. And yes, I can easily turn my head around to see what my kids are doing behind me and tell them, "Bah, stop doing that, stop bullying your sister, stop bullying your brother." It's very easy. And if you don't like the view that you have in front of you on your fully digital gauge cluster, you can just simply press this button for the view and it changes it. We can see our RPM now. We have our compass back again. We have all these cool little things, so it's nice to have so much customizability to have at your disposal. It's a simple car, easy to get used to. You buy this thing because you try to be financially literate. This thing will cost you less than 50,000 bucks, brand spanking new. And if you want to cheapen out a little bit by, like what I did, getting less options. Well, let me walk you through more of the options I have. We have auto stop and go so that we don't turn off our engine as we stop to not save as much on gas. We also have parking sensors. Very, very helpful front and rear. You gotta have that. Backup camera as well. All these little things that help make life a little bit better. Yes, I could get a sunroof up here, but that's more money and we're trying to save as much money as possible. And the best cost savings of all of this is gonna come down to our gas mileage. Coming down here. Oh, that is a beautiful looking Camaro. Wouldn't be the greatest on gas, but compared to me, we are using 7 liters for every 100 kilometers. Practically nothing. We are doing very, very well. And at a full tank, we are sitting at 750 kilometers of range on regular gas, by the way. Yes, you can cheat the car and give it more higher octane gas to help the car maybe perform a little bit better, but this thing is more than happy on just regular gas. And as you guys can see, I am just cruising, enjoying this thing. I feel a little bit of the bumps of the road. I'm not completely isolated, but it does a good job of making me comfortable enough to enjoy the ride. But I take this car on very, very long road trips, maybe with a couple of breaks in between. The seats are comfy, but they also feel firm. Not hard, but firm. And for my shorter passengers, this white part will irritate you slightly, but not badly at all. I had a shorter friend in here, and she was complaining how this part was rubbing on her and was just annoying her. Maybe it was just her, but just a little thing to take note of. Simple, but straightforward. Let's go back into eco mode. And as you guys can see, we also have a bunch of drive modes. We got snow, which is very helpful here in Canadian weather. We got off-roading, which I know it's most likely going to turn off your traction control, make sure it lets your wheels spin a little bit more so you can go off-roading. Though I doubt most people driving their base model Taoses are taking these things off-roading. Then we have custom drive modes that you have to set up yourself. For time being, we're just gonna go into regular tarmac road. Simple. And looking at down at your gauge shifter, we also have a manual mode. Second. First, the car's transmission is not snappy, and to be fair, I don't need it to be. This is not a sports car. This is a simple daily driver to go get groceries, go pick up the family, go do errand runs. You don't get this car because it has a snappy transmission or anything like that. You get it because it makes sense. And that's what you need sometimes. You need a car that makes a lot of sense. The funny thing is, the gearing ratio has been programmed to make it so smooth. So even though it has the same horsepower as, let's say, an Elantra, the Elantra feels way more sporty because of just simply the gearing ratio. This one, the acceleration feels smooth. The car feels unhurried. Very, very relaxed and very elegant in all that it does. So that's also a benefit. And the insulation, very good. It's a very chill summer day right now. So I would expect the car to isolate me from road noise pretty much well enough. And with music playing in the background, yeah, you'll be fine. You can hear what the person beside you is trying to say, so you don't have to worry about that either. The cabin is a very nice place to be. My favorite part being this stretch of leather. They could have gone cheap and just put nothing but plastic, but I'm so glad they made it nice and stitched it up nicely too. Very, very good stuff all around. You can get lost just looking at this interior. That's the thing. Though yes, you could spend more money, spec it out even more nicer, get some two-tone color seats going on in here. Maybe even go bigger, go for the Atlas, for example. But that costs money. And for these purposes, we're trying to be as efficient and as frugal as possible. Now that we've taken it out of sport mode and we're just doing some regular drive, we want to turn on our lane keep assist and all those other settings that I gotta be moving to turn that on, unfortunately. So yeah, that is good. And once we get moving, we're gonna turn on all of our assists and try out our adaptive cruise control and everything in between. See how that goes. Yes, down here you'd also get some buttons for auto hold, so when I step on the brakes hard enough, I don't have to keep holding the brakes anymore, for example. I can see why people love the Volkswagens. The Taos is at least decent price, very good technology. It comes with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. It's easy to fall in love with something like this, and I can fully understand why. They make them affordable, and the adaptive cruise control is pretty smooth, I can't lie. Right now I'm not stepping on any brakes or nothing, and it's coming to a complete stop completely by itself. No foot on the gas, no foot on the brake, nothing. So yes, you get to treat yourself just a little bit, and you enjoy it. You love it. Up here we got the spot where I put my sunglasses. Most people put other stuff. Some storage down here, more storage in here, a couple other storage down there, and that is all the storage points you get. And another very neat fact is that I also get this wireless charging for my phone. Very, very nice. And this is, I would say, slightly smaller than the newer RAV4s, because that's an F-150 right beside me, and I feel tiny. So yes, we are decent in size, to say the least. Not big, not bulking, just good enough. And I'm not even stepping on the gas. The car is taking off by itself. And there we go. Oh yeah, they don't call it lane keep assist, they call it IQ driving assist. Very, very nice. Every time I drive a Volkswagen, I am reminded just how safe these vehicles are. Yes, they may not be Volvo levels of safe, but they are very darn good at it. And the funny thing is, if I take my hands completely off the wheel for long enough, the car will go into a little bit of a panic mode. Maybe it thinks I've fallen asleep. It will start pulsating on the brakes to try and wake me up. And if I still don't fully wake up, it will pull over to the side and hit this SOS button for me to notify the authorities that, hey, maybe this guy has a medical emergency. He's passed out and he's not responding to the car. That's another thing to look forward to. So just little things like that, so you guys can see the steering wheel driving itself going everywhere. It's nice. It's very nice. And you could easily get used to that. So now let's just increase our speed just a little bit to 60 kilometers an hour. And just like that, we are cruising. Yes, I know I can fully trust it, but my hands always hover just on top of the steering wheel in case the car makes a move I don't want it to make. Okay, they just told me to take over my steering, so let's do that now. But yeah, this is what it's like to drive this vehicle in a nutshell. Quick 0 to 60 times. You know how quick this thing is at accelerating. You can see the insulation and just the overall driving feel of what it's like to drive this thing in a crowded city with stop and go traffic. The adaptive cruise control clearly shines on the highway, but it does do a very, very good job in city and back road driving. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Morty in this 2026 Volkswagen Taos. Take care of yourself, guys, and peace.